Hello and welcome to the Kanawha Valley Hustlers podcast. I'm here with Doug and we are right outside the Charleston newspaper building, which he has a little bit of a connection to. Doug, I know you're involved with a lot of different business here, but what brings us here to the Charleston newspaper building?
You know, just a few years ago when it was actually in bankruptcy, we put together a business group to help save the Charleston Gazette Mail. Last thing we wanted to see was some out-of-state company come in here and buy it. So we put together a group of Charleston business owners, and then Doug Reynolds, you know, our partner, who's the principal owner of the whole HD Media. He already had this little thing going in Huntington called the Herald Dispatch, and he had 7 other newspapers. So we said, hey, let's put these together, put the deal, make it happen, keep it local. And so I was just an investor. So I thought that's where it stopped, Joe. But then a couple years ago, he said, hey, Doug, by the way, our guy of 35 years, our managing partner there, general manager, he's stepping down. So the publisher stepped down and said, we want you to go in there, flip the tables upside down, be creative, do things differently, and take the newspaper to the next generation and how we offer news.
Awesome. That's great. So you are the president of HD Media. Is that right?
I am the president of HD Media, which is the 13 newspapers. We have 2 in Virginia and the rest in West Virginia. But with that, we have the largest commercial printing outfit for print papers in the whole tri-state area. So we print a lot of commercial products that we don't own all across this region.
Awesome. So, but now that's not the only hat that you wear, though, is it? Tell me.
I had a few hats on, depending on what day it is. That's right.
Tell me about all the different hats you wear.
You know, I was born and raised here, a South Charleston boy. I got a chance to go to WVU. I have 2 degrees, and I was always involved, in politics and student government. So I'll never get that out of my blood. Currently running for Secretary of State. But that kind of takes precedent right now because it's a statewide office. But in addition to that, I'm a managing member of Building and Remodeling Warehouse. It's a little building material distribution center we've had for almost 10 years now. Started in Nitro. We moved it to South Charleston, mostly remodeling and siding and windows and stuff. My brother-in-law, Mikey, does a phenomenal job running that now. A lot of gutter repair. So we have that going on. Then my father cut his teeth. So it's a commercial real estate developer. And we've got properties all around. We had so many properties we don't even know half the time. But he's kind of turning that over to my sister and myself to help to manage that, develop it. And he always says he's been retired, but he never stops. He's never going to be retired. So we're learning from him. He's one of the best business minds in the whole area, where he was economic director for the state for a long time. So I learned a lot how to stay busy, work your tail off, treat people with respect. And you never know, someday there might just be something right around the corner, like the LaBelle Theater. When the LaBelle Theater popped up, and we wanted to say, hey, how cool would it be? Back in the day, I used to go and watch movies there. So we went and partnered with Mark Plance's idea was, let's bring the movie theater back to life. So I partnered with him. And so it's called Movies for Less. We offer pretty much free movies every weekend. We get different sponsors. So we also manage that. I just like to have fun, man.
Man, that's great. So listen, a lot of the people that listen and follow me, they're entrepreneur types. A lot of them have side hustles, looking to make it into full-time hustles. A lot of them haven't even started their LLC yet. They're kind of looking into all that kind of stuff. So you're a little bit further down the path than a lot of people that listen to me. So what advice would you give somebody just getting started? They've got a side hustle. Maybe they want to take it to the next level, or, they want to do something more. Maybe they want to grow their business. They're looking to bring on those first employees, that's a big step. What advice would you give to people in those kind of early stages?
No, I totally agree. And that's one of the reasons I'm running for Secretary of State, because that's the actual chief business office of the state. So to get your business license, you got to go to the Secretary of State's office. You register your LLC or your company, no matter what size. But to do business in West Virginia, that's where it starts. So that's actually what interested me in the position. That's why I'm running for that. But from a side hustle standpoint, I always say everybody's hustling. There's always an opportunity. If you have an idea, and then you put the right people together at the right time and the right place, you find a few investors, it can become reality just like that. So don't give up on your dream. If you have a passion to do something, to be honest, there's 2 things I loved in life. I love building, with Legos and blocks, and I love to draw. And I always thought I was going to be an architect one day, but I wasn't smart enough with all those math classes. So, I came full circle. My first job was selling building materials. I have a regional company, Owens Corning, this company all around the country. And then when I was ready to settle down, let's start my own company. How cool to be. I can do this. But I learned on their dime. I learned how to do things, and then I came back and we started our own local company here with the newspaper. Same type of thing. I always thought it would be cool to get in the media and do digital news and multimedia stuff. But hey, why reinvent the wheel? Get into something that already exists. How can you do it differently and bring it to life? And so an idea. It starts with an idea. When I was at school, I got to tell you this story. I know I'm hustling here, but when I was in school, student body president at WVU, I had this great idea. How cool would it be if I convinced WVU to send me and some of my friends to all the away football games. Pay for a bus trip to take us. You know why? They said, well, Doug, that's a great idea. Let's take the student experience on the road, but you have to be an organization. So I started this little club called the Mountaineer Maniacs. The Mountaineer Maniacs started with 22 of my friends, and next thing you know, it's over 50,000 students in 27 years have joined the Student Athletic Boosters Club. They didn't have one, but I had this idea.
Wow.
It started with an idea.
Right.
Convinced a couple of my friends that it's not that bad of an idea. Then I convinced the as a 22-year-old student, convinced the university president, David Hardesty, to give me $1,000 to start the Mountaineer Maniacs with a guy named Vice President Gray, Student Affairs and Athletic Department, Ed Passalong, $3,000. I went around, got a few donations from people. We got it up to $5,000, got sponsors. Next thing you know, we went to every away football game. We were in the Big East at the time, so it was a little easier to travel, and every away basketball game.
So, well, that brings up
That's how it started right there.
That brings up a really great point. You said it's got 50,000 members now.
50,000 members now. We started,
but
with
it
22.
didn't start with 50,000, right?
It started with myself and 22 other people total. But you have an idea. So you ask the question: when you're out there hustling and you have an idea, then becomes a concept, and then you put people, who can I get in my network, or who do I know that can help me make it a reality? Maybe you need money. Maybe you just need support. Maybe you need resources. Whatever it is, don't give up on that dream. Everybody can hustle. It's in you. It's in you. If you have that drive, you can't teach drive. You can't teach hustle. You can't teach motivation. But if you have that, I'm serious, you can do whatever you want.
That's great. That's great advice. Doug, tell me a little bit about your campaign for Secretary of State. What are you into these days? I mean, you got all this stuff going on. I know you're doing a lot of traveling. So what's involved with, a lot of people think of politicians, they think about mayors, they think of governors, and they think of presidents and that kind of stuff. But what's it like campaigning for something like Secretary of State?
It's an interesting role because 75% of the office is the chief business office of the state. And I love that. I love the business side of me, just loves that. Going out, meeting small business owners who are the backbone of our state, people who have a dream and their dream became reality. I was just up in New Martinsville and I was in Moundsville and I was in Wheeling. So traveling around the state, I've always been a local office like House of Delegate or here in Kanawha County. But once you get outside of Kanawha County, you learn two things. Nobody knows you yet. So you got to stand out there like an idiot like this and wave and hold your sign up, put yard signs, commercials, spend a lot of money and meet a lot of people. So it's a lot. So I spend about 3 to 4 days a week making phone calls, talking to people, going out, traveling. I want to go to a different place. Senator Manchin, Senator Byrd, Congressman McKinley all said, in order to be successful in politics, you have to go places where you're least comfortable. Go to places where you're least comfortable if you want to succeed. I could stay here in Charleston and everybody knows me, but that's not how you win an election. So you got to go to places like the Eastern Panhandle, Northern Panhandle, down south in Williamson. Spend your time meeting the people. And if you ever decide to run for office, all you have to do is have a great personality and sell yourself. If you're a business person, you sell your business. If you're running for politics, you sell yourself. It all comes full circle. And I just love, the best part is actually the campaign, because you get to go out and meet great people and talk to you and meet people on the streets, and you never know who you're going to bump into. But you get to meet we have a fabulous and beautiful state, so you get to go to a lot of cool places. But the people from all around, hey, then they say, hey, I saw your commercial. It's a good feeling. Yeah. And especially when you accomplish something and when you win and you've done something and people remember, hey, I remember you were that guy that started the Mountaineer Maniacs back 27 years ago. So it's just a great feeling. I love our state. I love the people. And no lie, I just love giving back. Until I'm gone and passed on to my kids, I just want to make the biggest impact and difference I can. Small scale, big scale, whether I have 3 employees or 200 employees, it doesn't matter.
Awesome. Doug, as we wrap up here, could you let everybody know if they want to learn more about your campaign, if they want to learn, contribute, help out, volunteer, whatever they want to do, how do they do that?
Listen, DougScaff.com. I made it really simple. DougScaff.com. You go to the website, DougScaff.com. You can go out there. It takes money to win elections. So I would love as much, hey, how are you? I'd love as much money as possible to get your message out there. But if you want to just learn what I stand for and why I'm running for Secretary of State, go to my website, check out my Facebook page, follow me on social media. You know a little something about social media. You're the king. You are the king of social media. And this is a living testament. You can follow your dream and your passion. You've always talked about this and getting out and meeting the people, just like campaigning. You get to meet a lot of amazing people around town.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
And there's so much value in just getting out to people, talking to people, getting out in the community, doing stuff, following and listening.
Listen's the key to success. Don't think you know everything, especially on the campaign trail or in business. If you're watch out, Joe.
Here we go.
Look at this. We're hustling on the street. Look, we got deliveries coming. We got deliveries right here coming.
The world doesn't slow down for anybody.
No, not even us, Joe. But no, we actually get 3 or 4 semi trucks like that a day when they say, don't get in the fight with the newspaper, because we literally buy ink by the barrel. We buy paper by the rolls. 3 semi trucks full of paper every month.
Right. Well, that was the thing I was gonna just touch on real quick. You had mentioned listening, and when it comes to marketing, that's what I always tell people, and you can probably speak to this. If you ask your customers what their problems are, they will tell you, right?
I always say that, problems become opportunities when the right people come together. And sometimes it takes your customer and listening to them and telling you what the problem is, or else you would never even have known about it. But you have to listen to them, and then you have to be accountable and do something about it. It could be as simple as the delivery service they get. The newspaper always comes in one of my shrubs, or it comes wet. And how can we make their experience better? Whether you're delivering newspapers, delivering a movie at the movie theater, selling pizza, whatever it is. Building material products, if we give them a box of siding and the boxes all fall apart when they get it, they're going to have a bad experience. But guess what is most valuable thing is word of mouth. So that one bad experience, better than me, it's magnified 10, 15, 20 times. But if they have a good experience, they don't always tell people about it, but they remember it and they come back to you.
Yep.
So if they have a good experience at the newspaper, they're going to tell others to subscribe. It's changing. It's getting better, or the content's evolving. The multimedia platform, give it a chance. Whether the building material industry that we do, if they have a good experience with us, word of mouth. We don't have to advertise because we do such a good job while we're on the job site. People come back. Same thing with the movie theater. If they have a fun experience with their family, they're going to come back.
Absolutely.
But you got to listen to the customer, Joe.
That's right. Doug, I want to thank you so much for being on with me today, and I really appreciate it. Be sure to check him out. Make sure to like, subscribe, share, check him out for Secretary of State. And this is Joe Justice, the Kanawha Valley Hustler, thanking you for watching and reminding you to hustle hard, hustle smart, and always hustle with a smile.